Hey everyone, subscribe to the channel and come be a part of this amazing community. It's quick. Go ahead, click there.
You call it anxiety, but let's just slow down for a moment. What if anxiety, in a disorder, not a flaw, not something broken inside of you? What if anxiety is simply the ego asking for the spotlight, asking to be seen, to be confirmed, to be reassured that it exists? It doesn't start loudly, but it's persistent. The ego is always negotiating. It craves certainty. It wants approval. It demands control over how others see you. So, it starts asking questions, endlessly. What if they judge me? What if I fail? What if I'm not enough? These questions don't come from a place of wisdom. They come from insecurity, cleverly disguised as protection. Anxiety often shows up when the ego feels threatened not physically, but symbolically. It's threatened by silence, by uncertainty, by the idea of not being special. Think about how anxiety actually appears. Before the racing thoughts, there's a physical sensation, isn't there? A tightness in your chest. Your breathing becomes shallow. A restlessness in your stomach. Your body reacts as if something incredibly important is at stake. And to the ego, it is. Its image, its story, its sense of importance are all on the line. Your body doesn't know the difference between real physical danger and the fear of losing your identity. So it mobilizes energy. You feel alert, overstimulated, unable to rest. In Buddhist philosophy, this is described as attachment to identity. It's not about being attached to objects or even people. It's an attachment to the very idea of me, who I am, who I should be, how I am perceived by others. But here's the thing. Identity, in a stable, fixed thing. It's a continuous process. You are not a static image. You are a constant movement of experienced sensations, thoughts, and emotions, all arising and passing away. Anxiety flares up when the ego tries to freeze this natural flow and turn it into something solid, something it can hold onto and defend. The ego doesn't want silence. It wants a stage. It wants to perform its role, to showcase competence, confidence, and importance. This is why anxiety intensifies when you imagine being observed, when you anticipate judgment, or when you fear making a mistake. The ego believes it has to constantly prove its own existence, and the more attention you give it, the louder and more demanding it becomes. So, what do we do when the mind asks for this validation? Don't argue with it. Arguing just keeps you on the same stage, playing the same part. Instead, return to what is simple. Your breathing, your physical feelings, the sounds around you. Feel the breath enter and leave your body. Notice sounds without needing to name or categorize them. Sense the weight of your body where it touches the ground or your chair. This isn't about escaping anxiety. It's about stepping out of the ego's spotlight. Presence doesn't feed the ego, and what isn't fed naturally softens and loses its power. Here's something really important to understand. You don't need to defeat your mind. You don't need to silence your thoughts. You don't need to become fearless. You only need to do one thing. Stop following the mind when it demands to take the stage. Let the thoughts arise. Let the sensations move through you. But remain seated in your awareness. The ego shouts for you to become someone. But this practice whispers for you to just be here. Now, anxiety ain't your enemy. It's a signal that the ego wants confirmation, that it wants applause, that it wants control. And you don't have to give it any of that. When you learn to simply be present, you stop fighting with your mind. You simply stop obeying its every command. And in that quiet, ordinary, undramatic space, peace appears, not as some grand achievement you've won, but as a simple return home. There's so much more to explore on this path. If this resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and continue the journey with us. Thanks for watching.